If fascism feeds on fear, isolation, and manufactured scarcity, then our most subversive act is to make people feel like they belong and that they're not alone. Throughout this series, I've covered how fascism doesn't usually arrive wearing a swastika armband. It arrives as exhaustion, as loneliness, as the sense that nothing works and no one cares. It thrives when people are fragmented, when community has been replaced by algorithmic feeds and transactional relationships, when survival feels like a solo project. Fascism promises belonging, but only by narrowing who counts as human. Our job is to offer something better, something real. Belonging isn't just a warm feeling, it's infrastructure. It's who you can call when your car breaks down, who watches your kid for an hour, who brings soup when you're sick, who shows up when your landlord raises the rent or your boss starts pushing unpaid overtime. Fascist movements understand this deeply. That's why they build tight in-groups, shared rituals, symbols, and narratives of us versus them. They don't just recruit ideologically, they recruit socially. Left movements often underestimate this. We assume that being right is enough, that facts will win, that if people understood capitalism or imperialism or white supremacy clearly enough, they'd naturally choose liberation. But people don't join movements because of white papers. They join because someone made room for them. A culture of belonging means people don't have to earn their humanity by being perfect, radical enough, educated enough, or untraumatized enough. It means we stop replicating the cruelty of the systems we oppose. Capitalism teaches us a lie, that resilience is about personal toughness. Grind harder, meditate more, optimize your morning routine. But real resilience, the kind that outlasts authoritarian waves, is collective. Communities that survive repression don't do so because everyone is strong. They survive because people are allowed to be weak together. Resilience looks like shared childcare so parents can attend meetings. It looks like sliding scale dues instead of gatekeeping participation behind money. It looks like trauma-informed organizing that understands burnout isn't a personal failure. It's a predictable response to living under constant pressure. It looks like redundancy, not heroics. More than one organizer who knows how to run the meeting, more than one person with the password, more than one plan when things fall apart. Fascism bets that people will be too tired to care. Resilience is how we refuse that bet. Authoritarian movements are grim. They are obsessed with purity, discipline, punishment, and nostalgia for a past that never existed. They promise order, but they deliver misery. That's why joy terrifies them. Joy doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to let cruelty be the organizing principle of our lives. Shared meals, music, art, humor, celebration, these aren't side projects. They're how movements become places people want to stay. A culture of belonging creates moments where people experience, even briefly, the world we're trying to build, not as theory but as practice. When people laugh together, cook together, build something together, they form bonds that propaganda can't easily break. This is why mutual aid matters, not as charity, but as solidarity, not as branding, but as relationship. Belonging does not mean tolerating harm. This is where the right loves to twist our language. A culture of belonging isn't anything goes. It's grounded in shared values: dignity, consent, accountability, care. Fascism thrives on grievance and domination. We don't counter that by pretending conflict doesn't exist. We counter it by handling conflict differently, without disposability, without spectacle, without recreating carceral logic inside our own spaces. That means clear expectations, transparent processes, restorative approaches when possible, and yes, sometimes firm lines when someone refuses to stop causing harm. A movement that can't protect its most vulnerable members is not resilient, it's brittle. You don't need a perfect organization or a mass movement to start building a culture of belonging. You start with who's already around you. A reading group that becomes a support network, a tenant meeting that turns into a shared meal, a neighborhood tool library, A rideshare spreadsheet, a skill swap, a standing check-in that asks sincerely, "How are you holding up?" These things may feel small, but they're not. They are the social immune system fascism struggles to penetrate. Because when people feel held, when they know someone has their back, the appeal of authoritarian certainty weakens, fear loses its grip, and scapegoats stop working. Protests fade, campaigns end, elections come and go, but what remains is whether we've built relationships strong enough to weather disappointment, repression, and long stretches without obvious wins. Endurance starts here, with a culture where people are not disposable, where care is not an afterthought, and where the future is something we practice together, imperfectly, right now. Remember, fascism wants a world where only a few belong, but we're fighting for a world where everyone does, and where no one has to face it alone. Thanks for watching.